Hello, James here, and today we are heading from Edinburgh to Nottingham, and the reason for that is I'm meeting up with Kenneth from the Model 3 Owners Club. They've got a channel that talks about everything, it's not just about Teslas, so I'll put a description below and you guys can go over there and have a watch. The reason for the meetup is because he's in town for the weekend, so I thought we'll just meet up and have a chat. And also he's invited a few other EV YouTubers. I don't know who's all turning up, but we'll find out once we get there. So today's journey, we're heading down to Nottingham. It's 276 miles away. I'm going to be calling at 3 rapid charge points, and those are one at Anwick, which is 79 miles away, and then we've got Durham. We're going to actually head into Nissan. I gave them a call beforehand to see if I could use the rapid charge, and obviously they said I can. That is at 128. The reason for that is basically it's quite far away between there and sort of like Scotch Corner and also Wetherby Station, and also it's the last free charge point that I can get, so I'm just going to try and make this trip as cheap as possible. And then when we pass Leeds, there's another charge point. I can't remember what it's called now, but that is at 194 miles. So because this is a leisurely drive, I'm not really going to be speeding. I'll be doing 60 miles an hour and also maybe about 56 behind lorries, like kind of what we are doing now. So the game plan here today is to keep the battery percent high before charging and basically keep the temperature low. So I think we're going to have a slight change of plan because we're at 43% and Alnwick charging point is in 5.2 miles. So the state of charge or the dash percentage charge is higher than I expected. We're running at 3.9 miles per kilowatt hour. I think because we are running on minimal life support, the car is actually getting the battery's actually lasting a bit longer than usual. So I am going to head over to Standington Services. It's actually just a petrol station. We've been there before, so we're going to stop there during the daytime now. Hopefully I will be down to 36% when I get there, or that's my guess anyway. So I've made it here. It's 11:30, so that's 2 hours and 4 minutes drive so far. I basically miscalculated. I thought I was going to get 36% left, but it's actually 22%. I think I did my calculations wrong because the state of charge is at 33%. So I was thinking, I think I did the calculations for Leaf Spy, so I kind of messed up there a little. It's a little bit less than I wanted to before charging. I wanted to be at least like 30% plus, but previously at 48%, it was a little bit too much to start recharging, I think. But maybe I am completely wrong, and everything's just gonna go belly up. I basically went up from 22% up to 73%, and I wanted to charge up a bit more, but just like any good bus service, there was 3 Leafs behind looking for a charge, and obviously one of them left, which left 2. So I freed up the Chademo and basically charge up on the AC because I can. And we just basically had a natter for an extra 40 minutes. So we were talking, so one of the gentlemen, he was talking about the styling of the car, and he didn't really like the styling of the new Leaf compared to the old one, but the range would be more than enough for what he needs. And he was watching some dodgy Chinese guy on YouTube talk about the battery overheating, and for him it wouldn't be an issue. So if he upgraded to 40 kilowatt, that'd be more than sufficient for his needs. And the other gentleman, he was saying that the 40 wouldn't be enough for him, because he would need to, because of his work, he travels a lot, so he could end up doing 300-400 miles in a day. So he didn't really want to, well, he couldn't really justify getting the car if the charging starts slowing down, because obviously his job is like time important compared to what I am doing today. So I'm just checking the map here, and basically Durham is 38 miles away for the Nissan. I might actually skip Nissan Durham and head straight down to Wetherby Station, because that's only 75 miles away, which means I'll have to pay. Obviously I want to try and get the temperature down, so I'm going to stick at 58 miles an hour for a little bit and see how we get on. I'll probably stop there for, well, I was going to say longer, because that last one should have only been 40 minutes. But I'll probably stay for the full hour if I can. No fracking ecotricity. Okay. So we're at 33% on the battery. I'm going to charge up now, and we'll see how much extra heat we generate. So this should have probably been roughly what I've done in the first charge, but we'll see what happens this time. The temperature is down to 39.2 degrees, so it is going down, and I honestly don't think it really matters on the outside ambient temperature. But I'll talk about that once I get this going. So I went out on the ecotricity with my Charge Place Scotland card, which is a bit daft, because I actually needed to grab my phone, which I forgot. But lucky for me, it's actually on free vend at the moment, so I'm actually getting free juice. I might stay here for a bit, just charge this little Datsun right up to the top, I think. Seeing it's my lucky day. Right, I'm gonna go and grab some food, and we're just gonna chill out here for a bit. I am getting my EVA Scotland timesheet thing. I'll put down 4. So in my haste to get some food, I completely forgot to check the kilowatts an hour it's pulling. It's actually pulling 28, and we're up to 75%. So that's not too bad. I think we could figure out how much we actually pulled here. So even Carol Vorderman would be proud of my mathematics here and the time it took me to figure this out. So we are basically, between the two times, we have 13.9 kilowatts charged up. I multiply that by 60, which gives us 834, and then divide it by 27 minutes, because that's how much was left from the time. So that leaves us at 30.8 kilowatts it was pulling. This does not include the slowdown. Hold on. Hello.
Hello, sorry. How much you pay for the charger?
The charging? Today it's free.
Is it today free?
Yeah.
And how far will that take you? Miles?
On a full charge, if you go slow enough, you probably get in summer 150 miles on motorway driving. But if you're doing city driving, it's closer to 180, maybe 200 miles.
Is it reliable though?
Oh yeah.
I have a Lexus. I have a Lexus. That's a hybrid.
Right.
Mine's a hybrid.
It's electric, but I
have a bigger Jeep. I'm looking for, this another one was just called, the fully electric Tesla.
Oh yes. Well, if you have a Tesla, you don't have to worry about charging.
That self-charges. So, do you know on these, like how the BMWs? Is it the same kind of port that goes into the?
No, they all got different parts. It's a real
so
pain
you
backside.
can't use if you're not the van.
Use these speed then if you've got that?
Oh no, the BMWs would be able to use, you see where that AC charge point is? Yeah. The Renaults and the BMWs use that.
But when you go Europe, would you be alright doing it there as well?
Yes, because they all got charging points as well.
So there's no reserve tank of petrol at all, because the i8s and the i3s have a reserve tank, don't they?
Yeah, well, they've got the Rex ones, they've got like a generator.
Yeah.
This one doesn't, this is just full electric.
Thank you. Sorry, we're
That's
back
okay,
down.
no, don't worry.
They were all, they've been talking about it on the way, you see. So when we saw it, that's where they said, oh, we're going to...
I've got videos on YouTube about it, so I kind of film.
Right, okay, we will do. What's your account name?
It's Lemon Tea Leaf.
Lemon Tea Leaf.
Lemon Tea Leaf.
Right, we'll have a look.
Oh, we're not on it now, are we?
No, it's not live. So if you don't want to be in it, I can cut you out. Yeah. I don't think you'll see you anyway because it's kind of low down.
No worries, don't worry
Anyway,
about
thank
it.
you very much.
Right, bye. So it's actually great to see Ecotricity having 3 charge points here. It makes a big difference having all these charge points, because even though one of them was used when I got here, there was the other 2 that were free and I was able to charge up without queuing. Unlike the one near Morpeth, which only had 1 charge point, and basically we had a queue of 4 Leafs trying to charge up. So this is what we need for making life easier for most EV drivers in the future. It's just a nice change to have more charge point than there are cars for charging. Obviously this isn't really how I planned this trip, so let's swap it from an educational trip to a leisurely drive. Ah yes, that was it. I was talking about before I started charging, when I got out of the car, I was going to come back and explain some things, wasn't I? So what my theory is that the battery at 40 degrees was cooling down slower than what it would do when you're trying to cool down at 47 degrees. So I should be able to get the temperature down a little bit more than what I did before if I keep the car at about 60 miles an hour. So that's my guess for what's going to happen for this last 80 miles of this journey. Other than that, you know, the thing about rapidgate, once you get into that EV frame of mind of driving, if you give yourself enough time before leaving, you will enjoy it a lot more and enjoy chatting to people at charge points. It's not all about getting there as quickly as possible. It's about trying to enjoy yourself or enjoy the actual drive of the car. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I still get a lot of questions on people asking me if the car is worth getting, and to tell you the truth, the answer is it really depends. It depends on what you need. If you need to do this sort of journey all the time and you've got time sensitive sort of like deadlines to hit, then I'd say no. But if like me today, I'm not in a rush and I don't need to get to where I need to get in like record-breaking time, then it's fun. It's a fun car to drive. It practically did all the driving for me. And you know, if you're just pottering around town and getting to work and things, then it's a perfectly capable car. Other than that, if you need to do more than 300 miles, I would really consider waiting for some sort of 60 kilowatt hour vehicle with active thermal management system. But you know, I had my parents asking me about this car, and I was giving them all the spiel about the battery and making sure that you don't travel more than 200 miles or 250. I gave them a slightly lower number because of the way they would be doing this. They wouldn't be driving it like me, like I was treating it like if I was in some sort of video game starship that needed some sort of crew to manage. But for them, their reply was, well, if we needed to do that sort of distance, we would actually just get the coach or the train, because they've basically got discounts being old age pensioners, and it makes total sense for them to order a 40 kilowatt hour Leaf, because most of their driving is into town and back, and there's no real reason for them to go on a long distance trip. So for those sort of commutes and those sort of journeys, I think it's more than capable, and then yes, it's worth getting. Otherwise, if you think you need the longer journey, honestly, I would wait, because 2019, 2020 is just round the corner, and there'll be a lot more choice by then. Charging bay here. Ah, cool. Right, I actually need to get out and move. Reserved electric parking. That'll be for me. Thank you very much. Oh, I feel like a VIP. They even got the barriers in place for me. Right, so I had to register with Franklin Energy. Went into the website, punched in details, put in my credit card, etc, etc, and it's 30 pence a kilowatt on this Type 2 charge point. It's all through a web browser, which is all a bit bizarre. You'd think there might be an app for it, I don't know. It said it can take up to 90 seconds for it to activate. Right, so it started charging. I think it just didn't like the fact that I tried to plug it in and get a free vent out of them. Right, so we're heading out of Nottingham now. We just finished meeting up with Kenneth from the Model 3 Owners Club, and James from James and Kate. Also Aaron Russell was there, and Nick with his Zoe. So it was really nice meeting everybody. There was a few other people there also, but we had a nice chat and a meal and drinks, and basically just talking about anything EV related, and it was just nice to chat about, you know, things that you have in common, or we had in common. Yep, so we're heading out of Nottingham. The battery temperature has gone down. It has gone down to, if we can get the display back up. Oh yeah, it's not that display, is it? It's my phone screen. You can tell it's getting late. Probably should have had a double espresso instead of a black coffee. So we've got 160 miles, I think. Not 153 actually, but 153 miles drive up. I'm gonna get to, I'll probably keep the speed fairly constant. I don't think I will go at the 60 mile an hour speed limit, because I only need one rapid, and I don't think the temperature is going to drop below this, and also I don't need a full charge. So I'm going to head up there. I'm going to set it to 65, and then when I hit the rapid, when I leave, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to be able to make it back doing 70 miles an hour. I don't think anything in the service will be open, so I will just play it around with my phone and just entertain myself in some form or another. Right, so we're back here at Wetherby service station, and I'm basically just charging up here. I don't actually need that much of a charge. I just need at least 30 miles. So even like a 10-minute top up should be more than enough. Battery temperature is 38.8 degrees centigrade. So it's gone up from before because I was hitting, oh come on, screen grab. So yeah, so I was going at 65 and at 1.70 miles an hour. We're just basically near the end of the drive, so I don't really need to worry too much about the battery temperature, because I just need this one quick top up. It's currently pulling 29 kilowatts, and we are at 41% now. I think it was at 39 when we started charging. Other than that, actually, I didn't have the aircon or the heating on. It was 12 degrees. Well, it's 11 degrees now, but it was 12 degrees when I was driving, so it wasn't really that cold. So, yeah. Overall, come and think of it, today. Well, actually, it's not today because it's after midnight, isn't it? So within 24 hours, I would have done 430 miles roughly in that space of time, or less than that space of time, but within a day basically, and with enough stops and sort of like, you know, taking it easy. There's no reason why this car can't do the 500 mile range. I mean, I'm almost there. I'm at 430. Obviously, it's not continuous. I don't think most people would do it continuous, because unless you're in the Le Mans 24 hours, then why would you? It's actually, what I found today was stopping and chatting to people was way more fun than worrying about how slow the charge rate was. And also, when you reach like a charge point, and if there's other EVs people charging, you'll find that they'll tend to want to talk to you and want to know more about your car, share their experience with you. And with those kind of journeys, you're not pushing yourself towards getting to your destination as quickly as possible. It ends up being more of an adventure than a race. What's more enjoyable is how much I actually spent today on the journey. Basically, I had free electricity in Scotland to charge up, and then got to Wetherby thinking I'd have to pay for this one, and actually got a free vend again. The only time I actually had to pay for anything was when I was in Nottingham, and that in that car park, it was charging the car while I was enjoying like a drink and a meal. And that worked out to be £5.10. And coming back to Wetherby again, it's on free vend. So today I travelled from Edinburgh to Nottingham and up to Newcastle. That's 430 miles I've done for £5.10. And that's better than what most old age pensioners get for travelling on the old age pensioner discount, I'm sure. I could be completely wrong, don't quote me on that, but £5.10, come on guys, you can't say better than that, can you? Right, so I've stopped the charge at 69%, not because it's a magic number, it's because I started from 39, so I wanted to basically see what 30% would be on sort of like temperature. So we reached 5 degrees centigrade, so that's less than 2 degrees centigrade for every 10%. So that is how much heat it generates when you're pulling only 27 kilowatts. So I'm gonna start heading off now, because I've had enough waiting around here. It's been a blast, but we have to say goodbye to Wetherby Station. Oh, didn't see a Leaf there. Gen 1. Okay, so I am 16 miles away from my final destination, and the guessometer says I have 18 miles left, and it's 3:38 now. Basically, it's way past my bedtime, and I'm just gonna basically get in, hit the hay, and then sleep the rest of the weekend off, I think. So I'd just like to take this opportunity to say thank you for watching, and if you like this video, hit the like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.